Yo, what's good, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. This is the Healing Club podcast special episode. We really don't usually do this during the week, so I guess that's what makes it very special. No, but what makes this special is if you had the chance to tune into episode 3, you'll notice that the audio quality is very poor, very opposite of rich. So I wanted to make up for it with a special episode for y'all. I plan on doing this every so often, once in a blue moon. I think it'd be cool to drop a special episode just out of nowhere. So yeah, expect that in the future. That should be cool for real. But I won't have LukeDaGreatest with me this week. Well, for this special episode, but he'll be back with me this weekend. So we'll get episode 4 out for y'all on Monday. So be on the lookout for that. All right. So in this special episode, I wanted to go over what we talked about in episode 3. We're gonna skip the sport talk and all that. We'll let that accumulate throughout the week. It's still a lot of basketball and football to watch right now, so I'll let that build up for the week, and then we'll talk about that this weekend. But going back to the topic, in episode 3 we talked about relationships. We went over the definition, what it meant to us, the relationships that we hold right now, and how they impact our mental well-being. So let's just go over that. I'm pretty sure you guys didn't really get to hear all the good points that we had talked about in episode 3. So I'll just go ahead and regurgitate it all. So relationship. So a relationship is the way in which two or more people are connected, or the way they behave toward each other. So I'm not talking about romantic relationship, though I will get more in depth into that later on in the episode, as this is a special episode. I'll make it very special and go in depth into romantics, but later on. You have your romantic relationship with your lover. You have a relationship with your father, your mother, your sister, your friends, your best friend. You even have a relationship with the coworker that you see. Let's see. Anyone that fits the description of being connected. And I think what establishes a relationship is the mutual interaction between one another. Definitely you cannot build a relationship without interaction, and I guess what I'm leaning towards to is communication. That is the key. Well, honestly, I'd say that is the key. It literally opens all the doors to all opportunities, all connections. It all starts off with a "Hey, how you doing?" or "Hello, my name is so and so," so forth and so on. By the way, I think I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Sean. I am one half of the Healing Club podcast. Moving on. But that is what establishes a relationship. Mutual interaction. I'd say there has to be common ground as well within a relationship. So everyone knows what makes a relationship. It's literally the person that you talk to almost every day. They're the people that you know. I'll put it like that, or probably that you think you know. And why is relationships so important in mental health and mental well-beings? So are all relationships perfect? think about the connections that you have with the people right now. Are they healthy? Or do they feel toxic? If they are toxic, what made it toxic? So I want to go back to communication and why I think communication is a big deal, a very big deal, and especially in today's modern society. Specifically, I think we do not speak enough. I don't think we communicate enough. I don't think there's enough conversations. And what do I mean by conversations? I mean real conversations, you know. I don't mean small talk. I don't mean, you know, the hey, how you doing? Oh, nice day we're having. The talk where you can establish common ground. All talks are direct as such. I'm pretty sure with one conversation of small talk, you can establish, well, actually, a lot of relationships, a lot of friendships are established that way with a little bit of small talk. I'll go deeper in depth what I mean when I say deep conversations when we get into romantic relationships, because I think that's where that would apply more. But I'm pretty sure deep conversations you can also have with your friends. I'd say with mental health in a relationship, common ground is also a key factor in maintaining a healthy relationship. So I'll put my age out there. I am 28 years old. I used to have a lot of friends. I think I went on a bridge burning path, but more so, I understood myself more, and I looked back at those connections, and to me, everyone knows what it is in 2023. The vibes, right? If the vibes ain't there, then it is what it is. I can't say that's a very good mindset. Reason being is because I've held this mindset for a while, and I can tell you that it's not a very good mindset when I guess you want to hold relationships. But I think back on it, toxic relationships are just not there to hold, because the lack of common ground. We're gonna go back to communication. So, do we communicate enough? Do you talk with this person enough in this toxic relationship? So with communication, are the conversations that we're having are honest and sincere? Do you know the person's intentions? So in relationships, we really get into relationships. It is a human nature, and it is nothing to be ashamed of. But in human nature, we find the most advantageous relationship. We find the one that we can have the most advantages in, one that we can benefit the most. And I'm saying it to be real, because that is who we are. We're always looking for the best deal. But it's important to know that in a relationship, and I think it's important that everyone is aware of the human nature. For instance, I during the episode with episode 3 with Luke, I told him I needed him on this podcast because I could not do it without him, and I would say that is a advantage in having a brother relationship with Luke. Because since we're bros, we're close, we're great friends. I can have the trust in him, and I know that he'll be honest with me back, that I can land this podcast with him, that I can actually do this with him. Because I really cannot do this without him. So think of that. It's all about in how you use your advantages, and I think we tend to exploit it. We take advantage. We I guess abuse it. That can definitely cause a stir, a very toxic I guess environment. And I have an example of that for you guys. So I felt like I was in a toxic work relationship. To this day it probably was, and I'll let you guys be the judge of that. But when me and Luke were in the Navy, we had the same jobs. We were working with helicopters, doing paperwork, this, that, and the third. I had to manage a server, woody woo, right? But I was the only person that could manage the server, that had the training out of let's see, how many people we had in our office? I don't know, 10, whatever. It's a good number, but this is no knock on them. It is what it is. Like I said, that this is the way of life. But I felt it was a very toxic relationship because it was more take and not enough give. Because, well, another aspect, another factor that makes a healthy relationship is give and take, equal it, and an equal exchange. And whatever your definition of equal may be. So because it's that's all subjective. And you'll know what I mean when you have relationships. But going back to my work relationship, I thought I was being taken advantage of. Since I was the only one that knew a damn about anything in there. I'd hate to say it, but just running circles everywhere and shit. It was stressful, and it was very toxic because I'm the only one. I was really the only one. I felt breaking my damn back working. I was always the one being sent out to do, the special activities, this, that, and the third. Because I guess I just had the training, whatever. I got sick of it. It overwhelmed me, and it was a bad timing for me because, I tend to think a lot. I have a lot going through my head. I feel like I have 100 thoughts in a minute, so. This was a very sensitive time for me, I'd say, because the last 3 years I spent it healing from my last relationship, my romantic relationship, and I will definitely get into that with you guys and what I learned and what I could do to improve my mental well-being so that I won't make the same mistakes as I go forward, and I can continue to live a peaceful and happy life, because that is all what we're looking for, is peace and happiness. But to wrap up with my work story, one thing I failed to do was communicate. I didn't really get to the bottom of it. I really took it personally, and I felt yeah, I felt it was personal. Like I felt being attacked. And I should have had more conversations. But that is why, that's why I'm here now, is to let you guys know. Have more conversations. That's how important communication is in a relationship, because it either makes or it breaks, depending on how you use it. And I didn't use it at all. Like I said, it was a very sensitive time for me, so I stayed to myself. I thought if I just ducked my head, stayed low, people will leave me alone. Nope. Especially niggas, excuse me, young black men that can work, that are smart, that get it. You guys know what I mean. The ones that actually carries. Put people in their damn backpack and actually carry them. I'm talking about, I was exploited. Jesus. But we'll move past that. One thing that I did learn is, like I said, that's how important communication is within all relationships, because it literally made or break. How can I word this? I was gonna get out anyway, but it really left a sour taste in my mouth. I still have it. So, and I'm still working and healing on that. Make sure you have those communications, those talks, those conversations, so you won't have to heal like I am right now. Still, it's only ever when I think about it, so it's no big deal. I can literally probably live the rest of my life now not thinking about it. But moving on, that's that with with connections. So when you think about your connections, think about your mental well-being, the state of your mental well-being, the relationship with this person, with that person. Are you having conversations with people to know what that person might be going through? Because it could all be misunderstanding. A big example of misunderstanding was, like I said, I think I have a lot of problems, but I'm working through it. I didn't talk to my dad for over 3 years, and thinking about it now, that it really hurt. But at the time, I misunderstood. A lot of the minor downfalls that I experienced later on in the military, I blamed it on my father, and I know now that it's not the right thing to do it. It's not the right way to go. Why did I blame it on my father? At the time, and I say this is a big misunderstanding, is because the times that we grow up in, my father's up there in age, so I won't tell y'all that, but we grew up in a different time. He grew up in a different time than what I grew up in, or what you probably grew up in, because hey, I was brought up in what, the late 90s to, I graduated high school out of 2013, so I was definitely brought up a different time from definitely from my pops, and I'm a very emotional person. I take things personal sometimes. I really don't want to, but it happens. I hate saying it. It is what it is. That's really something I need to work on. Is being more control of my emotions. I got more intact with them as I became more aware of myself and the people around me. So I'm doing better with emotions. But yeah, going back to my pops, it was a big misunderstanding because it's definitely from the time he grew up, it's definitely different from the time I grew up, because I don't get the things that he say or do. Sometimes I still don't. But I have what I forgot was unconditional love and understanding from my family. I forgot a lot of values along the way with shutting my pops out. So communication, see it breaks me up a little bit. So communication is that important. It's we had a big misunderstanding. What brought us together was rest in peace, my aunt passed away this summer. And I hate that sadness brought us together. But I'm glad that we can talk now. I'm glad that I remember what it is, what it means to have family values. Excuse me. What it means to have family values and to have unconditional love and understanding for your family. So how did I learn how important communication was? I'd say it was taught to me. And I'm gonna get into romantic relationships now. Oh yeah, we're going get into the dating scene of the 21st century of 2023. Jesus, honestly, the dating scene now is a whole episode in itself. So I won't take too much time. I'll use the rest of my time now to go over relationships, romantic relationships, and what I learned from my last relationship, and how I learned communication. So I'd say it was definitely 2017. But 2016, fall 2016, I'd say October, November, I had just got selected to go to Italy. Yes, Italy. I was Euro stepping for real. For 2 years, I was in Italy. Let's see, where was I stationed at? Oh, I was stationed at Naples. Everywhere else, they call it Napoli. Americans are different. I don't know why. Whatever. But yeah. And I'd say first or second weekend, I met my ex. And it's funny. It's funny how we got things going. So she, at the time, didn't speak any English. Zero whatsoever. Zilch. How did I learn communication from someone that I could not communicate with? So I'll start from the beginning, how I met her, how I got her number, and how we lasted 3 years, and how it became the greatest relationship and the best thing that's happened to me since. So yes, it was my second weekend in Italy. I was Euro stepping, eating pizza, drinking that damn vino, doing the thing. Um, but I was in the club. It's fucking 3 a.m. I can't see. It's time to go home. I want to go. So I'm sitting down. I'm tired. I'm hurting. I'm suffering. She sits next to me. I'm like, oh shit. It's time to go anyway. Might as well get this number. La 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 la. She can't speak. She said, huh? La 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 la. You know, excuse me. She starts speaking in Italian, and I couldn't understand what was going on. And that liquor was hitting me. Woo-wee. I'm telling you, it was time to go home. But luckily, she has a cousin that was fluent in English. The coincidences. And she just so happened to be next to us as well. So she translated for me. I think you're really cute. I wanna get your number so I can talk to you. Whatever. This, that, and the third. And yeah, we started rolling, baby. But it was difficult. It was difficult to be in a relationship, to talk to someone every day that did not speak English. So yes, I did have to learn some Italian. Some compromises were made, and I'm glad I did it because it built a stronger relationship. And I'll continue to make compromises today. Because what she also taught me was a relationship should be equal, and how she showed me was she made compromises of her own, learning English for just to speak to me. I'm not gonna get too in depth with you know how that will be a conversation for another day. But she I was her first time with a lot of things, and I say that takes a lot of compromise, because it's really hard. It's really hard. You'll understand how important communication is until you really cannot communicate with that person. That's how hard. That's how important communication is, because it's a transfer of information for one. It's a way of expressing, a way of conveying your feelings. Communication does a lot for us. And I don't want to say that, oh, Sean, you telling me I don't talk to my boyfriend enough, or I don't talk to my girlfriend enough, la 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 la, you full of shit. I'm saying, what kind of communications are we having? And this is where I'm going to get into deep conversations. I understand, sometimes there's just nothing to talk about. There's always something to talk about. Big or small, but there's always something to talk about big. I want to say, growing up, married couples did this, renewing their vows. And how else can you renew your vows? You return back to the conversation that you had when you made the vows in the first place. I feel like we need to talk about big things repetitively, because believe it or not, the human mind is a lot weaker than you think. We break down a lot easier than you think we do. Not some I guess some people have words of affirmation as their love language. It's a real thing. It reestablishes. It can even reignite what you think you've lost. With that person that you're in love with. So going back to me and my ex, as time progressed, we got better. My Italian got better, and she was getting better at her English, and soon we stopped speaking without the Google Translator. Yeah, that's how we talked for the first, I'd say, year on that Google Translate, baby. I had that shit downloaded. Oh, excuse me. But communication is always possible. Thank God for technology. I don't know what I would do without Google Translator. But communication is what kept us together. We had talks. We always have talks. And in my next relationship, I definitely will use what I learned from my last relationship, which was having more conversations. Communication is key. Communication is a bridge. Communication upholds connections. Communication heals connections. When all else fails and there's nothing left, there's always communication. There's always an opportunity to talk to that person. And for better or worse, what you get out of that conversation, at the end of the day, I think you'll be happy that you'll have that conversation, because I don't know how else you'll establish a healthy relationship for your well-being, for your mental well-being. And that's it. Yeah, that's it on relationships. It's a lot in relationships, honestly. But we can start off with communication. Well, Sean, what if I don't have a friend relationship? Well, I encourage you to go outside and find some friends. I don't mean that in a sarcastic manner. I'm actually challenging all those that are shut in or introverted to reach out and make relationships with people. You see that woman or that man walking that damn dog or whatever, say, hey, good morning, good afternoon, how you doing? And maybe there's a great conversation and a great relationship, just waiting for you at the door there. But you need the key to open that door. And what is that key? It's the C word. Oh, I forgot. This recording. Y'all can't talk to me. It's communication. That's real. It's so important, guys. So important. And yeah, that is my challenge to all those that feel they don't have relationships, that feel they have toxic relationships or relationships that they want to fix. I promise you, it all starts with communication. And to those that are unsure of the type of relationship that they are in, I'll tell you this. I think that relationships are supposed to be nurturing and supportive. And I said it early in the episode. If the vibes ain't there, it is what it is. It is what it is. Excuse me, I still said it wrong. It is what it is. And with that, peace. I will see y'all Monday.